2022, and I'll call meeting 1489 to order. At this time, I'd like to welcome the online viewers, and tonight we actually have viewers in the gallery, so thanks for coming out. Unfortunately, we didn't have popcorn because we didn't know we were going to have company. Moving on. In front of you is agenda for meeting 1489. Are there any additions to the agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make an addition for the Deer Lake Fire Rescue quarterly report to say with my community planning report.
All right, thank you. And you're going to put that just after your report?
Yeah, that's okay with you there, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Excellent, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any further?
We will add the new highway signs to economic development.
Sorry.
Oh, decision?
We're also going to add the spring cleanup notice to business arising from the minutes.
Okay.
All right. Can I get a mover to accept the meeting from 1489?
For the agenda.
Oh, there's a new part that came in tonight. So we need a mover to accept the agenda.
Yeah. So moved. I accept the agenda.
Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Deputy Mayor Jones. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, just for online viewers and gallery, I forgot to mention, but Councillor Fitzgerald is joining us online. If you hear another voice, minutes. Oh, sorry, go back again. God, my Lord, minutes regular meeting 1488 are in front of you. Are there any errors or omissions? Hearing none, can I get a mover?
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Hancock, seconded by Councillor Langdon. Call for question. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, thank you. Business arising. Where is, let's see. Here we go. All right. There's a special meeting held on April 7th, 2025. I need a mover to accept.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Hancock, seconded by
So moved.
Councillor Freak. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. No worries. I'll take the fault. All right. Moving on. Regular meeting 1488. Oh my God, you swear this is the first time I sat here today. Business arising from minutes.
Who's doing that one? You or?
Yeah, I guess, excuse me. I guess we're open the next couple of days now to go to our forms out, our pamphlet out for spring cleanup. Excuse me. So there's going to be some drop-off dates there, and you will see it in your email or your mail package. And also we have a little center program for anybody dropping off at the depot itself. Will be a daily gift card draw for dropping out just into your name, and so we can get some things moving up there to lessen the load for the spring cleanup at the curbside. And like I said, you should have that within the next couple of days. So for council to look at it tonight, just if there's any points of view or anything that we missed, to go ahead and contact Jason in the morning, please, if you can. Thanks. And Jason, I know you want to say anything.
Nope, that was all. That was for just council's information, but the plan is to try to get this out to residents as quickly as possible. So if there's any errors or omissions, please get back to me by tomorrow morning so we can be sure the residents can help us out in beautifying the town.
So just to recap, we got 9 cleanup days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, starting April the 26th, so the 24th, 25th, 26th, and then May the 1st to the 3rd, and May 8th to the 10th. So you've got 3 weekends there and 3 days to do that. Just for anybody eager, before you get the pamphlet in the mail, I think is, and you're on your certain days. Your curbside is, you can wait for that. We'll post this on social media as well.
Yeah, it'll be on Facebook. We'll also have it on the website, and we'll also put a push notification out through the app. Just remind people, because it is 2-tiered. We encourage as much as possible to bring it to the Public Works yard, because our crew is able to sort it. They're on site, whereas as much as I know people like to bring it to the curb, it's much more efficient for the town of Deer Lake to bring it to our yard so that we can sort it properly and make sure that any items that are paint collection, electronic waste, or metals that can go to the appropriate locations rather than just going to the regional dump site.
And then I guess a big thing to note is that curbside does not start until May the 20th, which means you cannot put any garbage on curbside before May the 20th. That's an urgent
Yeah,
reminder.
that's a reminder. We've already discussed there are some people that have it out early, but the concern is right now that, I mean, anything you put out won't be collected. So, I mean, you're just adding weight to it. So we will certainly be contacting those that have garbage out, remind them that, I mean, there is drop-off going to be available, or that you can certainly contract a local company that, I mean, may be willing to take it away from you, you know, should you need to do so. But there will be times, this is why it's urgent we get this information out so we can remind residents, because I know they've started asking since most of the snow has melted, that we do have some dates in mind, we do have a plan, and we'd encourage residents to help us follow the plan as best as possible.
I just want to reiterate, I guess, the advertising side of that. Sorry to get it on the digital board as well. Just for spring cleanup, and I can't say it enough that it's taxpayers' pool of money, but back to the comments made earlier is if you put your couch out for 2 weeks and you get rain on for 2 weeks, the more weight goes to it, the more we pay as taxpayers. So the more we can get buying into the program working as planned, the better for everybody. That's it. We're going to move on to accounts, reports. Finance, Councillor Freak, please.
Are we doing correspondence?
Well, I'm telling you, I'm losing it tonight. I think it's the pressure of the gallery.
Stardom, yeah, the stars.
No, all jokes aside, legislation or the rules have changed for procedure, so it's new to me tonight. SAM, Habitat Workshop, June 3rd to 5th, St. John's. Anyone looking to attend, please let the town clerk know. Item number 2, Municipal Affairs. The budget has been approval. That's for your information. And that concludes correspondence. Moving on to Finance, Councillor Freak, please.
Finance Committee met on April the 10th at noon. Myself, Councillor Brett Langdon, and Town Manager Jason Young. Item number 1, CBCL, $1,529.73 for the lagoon study. Recommend payment. Item number 2, Town of Reedville for $3,861.53. This is our annual cost for the pound in Reedville. Recommend payment. Item number 3, Baird and Associates, $2,185, Municipal Plan Amendment number 3. Recommend payment. Yes, okay. Item number 4, Baird and Associates, $2,070 for Municipal Plan Amendment number 5. Recommend payment. Item number 5, Town Planner again for $1,897.50 for Amendment number 7. Recommend a payment. Item number 6, Ridgeview Contracting Limited for $460, use of the Power Snake. Recommended approval. Item number 7, the Deer Lake Public Library is looking for their annual grant for $1,000. However, I would like to add that we were going to respond back to them for the 75th anniversary grant, so that if they had an event that was on the go, they would fill out a grant with us for, say, $500 to do what they would like to do for the 75th. So we're going to get back to them, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Once we have more details surrounding the 75th anniversary grant.
Okay, but that it was approved in budget for
It
us
was approved.
to.
We just don't have the details completely yet in
Okay.
the application process, but we'll let them know once that's done.
Okay, so this is for their annual grant is what they were asking, but it was our misunderstanding during finance to give over and above the grant. So grant approved in the budget. Item number 7, Newfoundland Power, $2,055.63. Pole hold on Nicholsville Road. Recommend payment. Item number 9, a salary review. So I asked the town manager to go out and get an independent study done for a unionized and non-unionized current salaries with other municipalities, bring up a pay scale, look at a step system, steps number 1 through 5, red circling, but looking to get all those salaries fairly looked at for our HR recommendation. I make a motion to pass my finance report.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Langdon. Call for question.
I should have clarified, that was seeking quotes for what it would cost for a firm to do that work. Sorry, back up the bus. We haven't agreed for a firm.
That's for union too, like we're bonding by contract, so how can we
No.
go ahead and?
Not those union. Outside of that union, if we ever went unionized for any other staff,
Okay.
for other positions that aren't currently in the union contract.
All right, everyone's clear. We have a mover, seconder. Call for question. Comments, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, thank you. Moving on to accounts payable. Councillor Freak, please.
Almost there now. Accounts payable, items number 1 through 34 for the amount of $20,956.61 for your information.
All right, moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Deputy Mayor Jones. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Just wondering about not the next committee for form, but the Arts, Recreation and Culture. Are we going to be able to hear Councillor Fitzgerald to present? Or best? Okay. All right, moving on. We have Planning, Community Development, Corporate Services. Councillor Lang.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Department of Community Planning and Corporate Services met on April 11, 2025. In attendance was Deputy Mayor Kerry Jones, myself, Town Manager Jason Young, and Administrative Assistant Krista Jones. The following are permits that have been issued: commercial renovations at 81 White Road, a new construction building on 15 Premier Drive, and the residential renovations on 6 4th Avenue. All permits have been issued. I requested permit applications for 24 Elizabeth Avenue, garage in the size of 31 by 26. Variance is required. We recommend go to advertising and pending public advertising, which we don't have an end date for yet. And 101 George Aaron Drive, requesting a garage extension and would like us to consider the fact that 2 acres were available. At this time, we are denying the application as it does not meet with our requirements, but we are willing to work with the proponent to come together and recognize the larger lots in our community and willing to work with that to potentially amend our regulations. But until that time, we will be denying the application. Subdivision applications, V&J Tectonics and Spillway submitted their subdivision application. The committee recommends the approval. And other items as well. Item number 9 is the land auction for Veterans Memorial Industrial Park. We have had the agreed upon auction price for 10 acres in the industrial park. Price per acre will be assessed at $65,000 with 10% discounts for multiple acres. We'll begin preparing the land for the live auction, which we recommend the date of April 30th at 11 a.m. Item number 11, amendments to allow additional units in garage. I've attached as well in a regulation from Grand Falls, Windsor, which the committee will be looking to move forward to see if the town council would like to adopt this, and this will allow additional units within garages, but still in compliance of all our building regulations that we currently have. Item number 12, the real property report policy. The committee is looking at to make additional changes as recommended in the last special meeting we have. At this time, we don't have a report to put forward. Item number 13, the ATV route through the community. We have chatted with our MEO officer, and we recommend the opening set for next Friday, April 18th at 12 a.m. And so by that time, we foresight that there will be adequate snow melt to allow the ATVs to go in off the trail. And number 14, a request for the smash up for MS from a component requesting to use the fire department training grounds. We're consulting with the fire department about that and asking for more details. Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to accept these minutes.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Langdon, seconded by Deputy Mayor Jones. Call for question.
I have some questions, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
Okay, one thing with item number 13, the ATV route, is there a possibility of putting that to 12 a.m. tonight? The track is open going towards Pasadena and everything of that nature. So I don't know why we need to wait till Friday. I don't know if we can do a motion to change that for tonight.
Are you in town currently?
No, I'm in Port Bass right now. I'm ready to cross on the ferry. But I did use the trail this weekend and everything is open.
I'd recommend sticking to the recommendation just with the current forecasting, but that's just my 2 cents.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I'm okay with keeping the current recommendation on the committee there, given I do know there's still some issues going in the Goose Arm area, so I'd rather not open up the trail without the access off the road.
Any further questions?
Okay, yeah, I have one further one, Mayor and Chair. This is with respect to item number 7. As I've mentioned before, was the subdivision design procedures and municipal engineering standards submitted for this?
Yeah, Councillor Fitzgerald, thanks for the question. The committee feels that the proponent adequately submitted the required documentation to move ahead with the subdivision plan, so we'll be going ahead with agreeing on it for now, given the phase 1 of the project.
Okay, well, like I said, I've stated this many times before, so with respect to the documents as presented in front of us, I have not seen the Schedule 3 of the subdivision design procedures, which was passed by the Council of September 26, 2011, meeting 12/18. In addition to this policy, the subdivision development permit clearly describes that no permit shall be provided until anything's done. I cannot see how any councillor here can approve this permit at this time. So I cannot vote on this item until I see the actual subdivision design procedures, municipal standards agreement, Schedule 3.
All right, well, Councillor Fitzgerald, as you know, you have to vote. If you don't, you vacate your seat. So we have a recommendation on the table. So it'll be put to a vote, but you're more than welcome to show your discourse to the decision of the committee at that time. Any further questions?
So this is a phase 1 approach anyway, right, to the
Yeah.
subdivision we discussed the other day.
Any further questions, Councillor Fitzgerald?
No, that's everything for me, Mayor.
All right, I just got one here, item number 12. With the new rules, do I have to excuse myself from the chair to ask the question? Legislative's changed.
No,
Okay.
So we're not making notice.
They're gonna be in a separate motion anyway.
I just want to make sure I hammer this one home. Changes made to policy to state it will be determined by staff visit property and current information provided to determine if a real property report is required. So currently you have it for the municipal, for the home structure, right? Is this in context to the garage?
Yeah, just to confirm, Mayor, there's no report coming forward tonight to be accepted. It's just we just want to provide you an update that we're looking at the policy as stated in the last special meeting when we asked.
I do notice the policy's there and it's updated.
Yeah, so Krista had said to me that she had made changes and she thought this was gonna get put through.
Sorry, my apologies there, Mayor. I'd like to remove that from the committee there right now.
Right.
My apologies, sir. I didn't realize that was on there to be approved tonight.
It was a good
But
idea because
Just for the
yeah,
record.
sorry, I do apologize there, Mayor. But right now we won't be bringing that forward to be approved.
No, I'm just glad I caught it because the wording.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, no, thanks. Sorry, I didn't think that was on there like that. That's my fault there, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, so you're voting on items 1 to 14 deferred with item number 12, correct?
Yeah, so we can keep it there just as an update if you like.
Yeah.
Clerk Laura, I don't know how that works, but
Well, we'll just do it as like a friendly amendment.
yeah,
so we'll
sorry,
just
sorry. I
defer
just
that.
thought that was an FYI on there that we were still working on it. But I wasn't planning on bringing it forward to pass tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Yep, no worries.
if sorry, just in speaking with that one, when you do start working on it, 7.1. I just want to point out one little thing in that one. It says, prior to the construction of any new residential dwelling and/or ancillary building, if I were you, I'd probably try to like break that up because we're still 100% going to keep real property reports for residential dwellings because it goes on to say that town staff will inspect site and determine if sufficient information is provided to determine boundary lines. If not, a real property report shall be provided by the proponent to the town. So definitely that should be separated out for ancillary buildings, because like if you're going to make some kind of decision, I don't think you'll be making it on the residential dwelling itself. It would be only on those ancillary buildings, just as a when you're at it. That's all.
Yeah, you're right, Councillor Hancock. I think what we'll do is we'll have, prior to construction of any new residential dwelling, a real property report will be required.
Yes, yeah, you should.
For
Yeah, 100%.
any auxiliary building, town staff will visit the site to determine
That's what you need,
appropriateness.
something to separate them.
Because I know in a special meeting, we had the discussion over accessory buildings, and it could be anything from a garage to a greenhouse to a lean-to. So that's where I think the committee was looking at, Chair Langdon, about having some discretion over what we require for a real property report for if you're going to build a 8x10 greenhouse as opposed to a larger garage. So, Councillor Hancock, I think that's what we'll do. We'll separate, because it is the same
sure.
policy for both, but we'll have it so that it's quite clear that it's going to be required for a new dwelling, but an accessory building will have the discretion, and it'll always come back to the committee that they'll make the determination and bring the council then if a real property report's required.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and that's the concerns we were looking to take into effect anyway. And like I said, I just wanted to bring that back as an FYI. We do plan on bringing it forth, just changing it with some of the updates made, but it won't be this evening.
Sure.
All right, I just want to make sure for clarification for council that if it does and when it does, that we come to a vote, everyone knows my stand. So I'll leave it at that. We have a mover, seconder. Further questions?
Yes, just a couple. So item number 5, just to confirm that we are going to speak to John Beard about larger lot sizes, look at the bigger building. So our action item on this is to speak with the town planner for rezoning of, or an amendment to the to our building plan, correct?
Yeah, right now, the largest lot that we have stated for an accessory building, I believe, is 3,000 meters squared, which is about 3/4 of an acre. So what happens is that anyone that has a larger lot, they still have to abide by a 3/4 of an acre regulation for an accessory building. Other municipalities have larger sizes. So we have right now, I think, 3. Other towns would have 4, or they would have it so that your garage is no bigger than your primary dwelling, or, you know, the percentage. So what we wanted to do from tonight is get council's blessing to go back to work with John Baird to make those amendments and follow the proper channels to make sure that we do make an amendment appropriately.
That
Okay.
isn't the action.
Yeah, and we also spoke in the committee about prioritizing it, recognizing the building season, understanding that the policy may be somewhat unreasonable for the request, that it makes sense, but the committee is certainly not interested in going against the policy, and but we are interested in working quickly to ensure that it's ready for the building season.
Okay. So we got the action item on that. Action item number 7, for that, we recommended the approval of the permit. Darren did bring up, obviously, a point here that we would be going against our own regulations, Darren, correct? If we don't receive that. So I would just like to note.
Well, that's correct.
Right, so I would like to just note, we recommend the approval of this permit, confirming we get what's already in our regulations to collect that information. I would assume, and I think the proponent's been very willing to provide everything that Krista's already collected. So that's why I would vote in recommending approving that. And an update in the reading of your report, the land auction for item number 9, you had said was 11 a.m., but it looks like here the note is 1 p.m. in the afternoon for that auction?
Yeah, town clerk there asked if we change that to
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
Okay, so can we amend that in the minutes?
Thanks. Yeah, perfect.
Perfect, okay.
Are you also asking that the action in 7 be amended to what you just said?
Well, I would assume that the town manager would be required before he could issue, if we are okay with the permit, that he collects what's required to be collected? I can't see how we can issue a permit and
Yeah.
not doing what's
Well,
on the
that's what I
back
mean.
end of operations.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's what I mean. So either the action would have to be, the wording would have to be changed subject to, hey, yeah, approval, subject to the rest of the information coming in, or you would have, in my opinion, no choice but to deny until the information's submitted. Has to be one of those two.
Yeah, what we'll do, we'll recommend based upon the applicable information, which I
Okay.
believe is a signed agreement between the town of Deer Lake and
Right.
proponent.
Okay.
To follow the design procedures.
It might be easier for the proponent if you do that.
Yeah, okay. Item number 14, Smash Up for MS. This is a super cool event. I've been to the one across the bay a couple of times. We might get one in that back garden, and then once the neighbors hear it, they might be like, never again. So I do love that the guys would bring that here. It brings a massive amount of people, an economic spin-off, and like fundraisers for the day. They've had like barbecues and bouncy castles like kind of near the place. It's very much like our location is the same location across the bay, just not that close to a residential area. I would love to see that here. So thanks to the guys for even asking to bring that huge fundraiser here. Anyway, that's my just feedback on that one.
All right, any further comments, questions, concerns, discussion? Hearing none.
Mr. Mayor, can I get clarification on number 7, what the action is?
At this time, Councillor Fitzgerald, as stated, we will be recommending approval for the subdivision based on the adequate information we received from the proponent and staff when we spoke about it, and town manager will be continuing to work with them to assure we receive it as based on our regulations.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking.
All right, so we'll go to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Hearing none, all motion carried. All right, that concludes planning and development. Moving on to arts, recreation, and culture, Councillor Hines.
So, Department of Arts, Recreation, and Culture met on April 1st, 2025. In attendance was myself, Councillor Fitzgerald, Town Manager Jason Young, and Director of Rec, Glenn Wiseman. We just had the one item. We looked at the online ticket sales system. So the Rec Committee has been reviewing the online ticket sales system proposed by Audience View, and the minimum cost for the system is $77.50 each year over a 5-year agreement. Unfortunately, this expense is not included in the budget, so the committee is exploring alternative options that are more affordable. So that's just for council information, and I move to accept the minutes.
All right, moved by Councillor Hines, seconded by Councillor Langen. Call for question to the report. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Did Councillor Langdon did you want to do your fire one after your report? Is that what you said?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Mr. Mayor, it doesn't matter. I can do it then or
You can wait till after
or
I'm
at the
done?
end.
or
I
what?
can wait till economic development
Okay.
after at this point.
Sure.
But
All right, moving on to economic development, Councillor
Hancock.
Hancock.
Yeah, so Economic Development Committee met Tuesday, April 8th, 11 a.m. Councillor Gordon Hancock, myself, Councillor Amanda Freak, and Town Manager Jason Young. Number 1, the strategic plan. The committee reviewed the newly completed strategic plan and the outcomes that had been identified. One key piece of community feedback was the strong need for beautification. So the action is the Economic Development Committee will look to meet with Public Works and Recreation Committee to prioritize beautification efforts in the community. Number 2, Economic Development Officer. The committee recommends initiating a process to hire a new EDO. Recommend the HR committee initiate process to hire the new EDO. We should have, all of that information in terms of the ad as well as the interview procedure. Number 3, the highway sign. Options were presented in this report, and the committee recommends the option with the gray background and Feel the Energy Building tagline, and to proceed with sign construction installation of all 3 highway locations or entrances. Number 4, the accommodation tax bylaw. An accommodations tax bylaw has been drafted for the town of Deer Lake. It's come here 2 or 3 times now. At this time, the committee is recommending approval of the bylaw with an August 1st start date, recognizing that some time has passed since it's been back, as well as a change to 3% based on feedback and some worries from proponents. Number 5, Bay FM sponsorship. The town of Deer Lake has established an advertising sponsorship. We should begin developing a town of Deer Lake advertisement or regular time slot for the mayor, councillors, or general town updates to be shared live on the air, such as spring cleanup would be a great option there as well. Motion to accept the report as presented.
All right, can I ask, what's that? No, just 1 second, please. That you move,
Do you want number 2 done separately? Or sorry, 3? Or sorry, 4?
number 4 4
Yeah,
separately.
sorry. Yeah, sure,
All right,
not a
so
problem.
1 through 5.
Not a
remaining
problem.
4.
Yeah, so, sure, so I'll recommend 1 to 5 of the report, or 1, 2, 3, and 5 of the report, and we'll do 4 as a separate motion.
All right. So we have a move from 1, 2, 3, 5. So need a seconder. Moved by Councillor Freak. Call for question.
Oh, did you say number 4? We're excluding number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Questions?
Question on number 2 for the EDO.
Yeah.
So you want the same job description as you did last time for this EDO?
Generally speaking, it would be the same. I mean, if there's any recommendations that you want to add it in, any duties, certainly we would take that before it goes out, but we do want it to be an economic development officer. There is some alternative names or titles for that position, such as like community economic development officer, but we wouldn't want it shifted much from there because it is a profession of its own. It'd be like changing a welder almost to something else. You know, it is a very specific job, and it's a very specific degree program, and so we would want it to stick sort of within those.
No, because as I'm, I guess, aware of that I'm part of the HR, so
Oh, sure.
I'll probably be sending an email to the HR committee to see what our benefits is to getting an EDO from last time, like what
Sure.
change was that we missed out on?
We've talked about, actually, one of the big name changes was tourism and economic development. With the movement that we've done with the strategic plan and the accommodation levy, that there needed to be a heavier weight on the tourism component of it and the partners.
That's actually the name of this committee as well, Tourism and Economic Development Committee.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion?
I have a question there, Mayor, on item number 1, strategic plan. Just want to let you know that I'm in full agreement with the plan, but I was wondering if we should move references to landscape of the community and aesthetics. As we all know, Council defeated the land clearing bylaw during the special meeting of April 7th,
Yep.
where the background of that policy was to protect aesthetics and public development. So I'm just curious.
So I'm not sure I heard your question. Sorry, Darren. Go ahead.
Sorry, Councillor Hancock. I'm just asking if we should remove items like aesthetics and landscape of the community from the strategic plan. Council defeated the clearing policy there on the special meeting on April 7th, where that policy was to protect aesthetics from clearing. So I'm just curious.
If you want, how about when we meet with Recreation, we could bring back some of those pieces, because we're not like approving necessarily the strategic plan tonight, just talking about how we're going to be meeting. So we could do that if you want.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sure.
I don't know, Councillor Fitzgerald, that I strongly agree with just because we turned down a land clearing policy that we shouldn't make our community look good, feel good, and a sense of welcome into the community. So, we can certainly do that, but I think the strategic plan, what we heard around the table, especially with public, was the amount of garbage that we're seeing. What is the town doing from aesthetics, like around different cul-de-sacs, greenery, garbage cans placed. So I think they're two very different things on what the public was looking for compared to what you were looking for in the land clearing policy. So I don't think just because...
I'm only presenting what the public asked us to present, because we have a lot of moonscape in our town there now, and with no movement on development. That's what I'm just asking. We have clear-cut land with no plans. So that's my aesthetics there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, any further discussion, comments, or questions? Hearing none, we have a mover, we have a seconder. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 4, Councillor Hancock, please.
Yeah. So sorry, as I said, the accommodation tax bylaw is before you. The committee recommends approval of the bylaw with an August 1st start date at 3%.
I'd like to remove myself from this, just for conflict of interest, for item number 4, if that's okay.
For an Airbnb,
Yeah.
I'd have no issue declaring it, just for your own protection. Council's wishes? Good.
Yeah,
Sit in the
right.
gallery. New rules. You
Sit in the
don't
gallery.
you don't have to go out here no more.
Hang out with the buys.
With the watching crew.
Yep. All right, Councillor Hancock, can you write that in the report as well for
What's that, sorry?
just talking to the clerk? You go right ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's it. That's the recommendation, that we accept what's, I mean, the bylaw itself was, is presented there. And so we're just I guess the only changes and with it coming back is the August 1st and the 3% change. And we did remove campgrounds.
All right.
Can
Yeah.
I add to information we've collected?
Yeah, just let me go through the process here first.
Okay.
So we have a mover, seconded by
So moved.
Councillor Freak. Call for question. Comments, concerns. Round
just-
table. Councillor Freak.
I just want to add a little bit of information to this, that knowing some of the concerns around the table, like how would Airbnbs do the accounting component of this? So I've reached out, the Premier gave me a contact at the Delta that Don was part of the movement in St. John's with the hotel levy. So I'm going to connect with Heather on that. I've contacted Alex Howell. Alex is a policy staffer with Airbnb that she came to the M&L conference. So I've reached out to her, told her what we were looking for, you know, how, once this gets processed, what does it look like? And I also reached out to our friends, Len White, and he put me in contact with another MHA that actually has done this in their community and works well. So we didn't get all this information back before we recommended this. You can see it's not till August the 1st. The start date is 3%. We know that this is funds that we want to put back into the community to do things for tourism. That won't come out of the tax dollars, but from an accounting standpoint and procedures, I'm hoping with these 3 contacts now that we've got, we can quickly turn around and give you an idea of what that would look like, and all the contacts for, if you're a hotel, contact your provider. Obviously, the Deer Lake Motel isn't a chain. How they could do that, and then for the Airbnbs, Alex should be able to help me with the policy on that. So those are the 3 contacts that we should have a little bit more information to kind of proceed. But some of them were asking, okay, well, what is it you're doing next? And, well, what we're presenting is the 3% levy to be paid to the town back into tourism,
Yeah.
and put it in place for August 1st.
Yeah, I mean, I should know, we're approving the bylaw tonight,
Yeah.
really. That would be what we'd be approving. There would be no doubt, and even though there was a submission from the previous economic development officer around exactly sort of how some of those pieces would occur. There were some sample documents about remittance. There was, since then we've had multiple meetings. I think along the way, this changed a fair amount. I think that's in part because there was pieces in the bylaws that people weren't expecting, such as like Airbnbs, etc. Some people, I think, thought it was just going to be the hotelers. And so I think it caused a little bit of like, well, let's go back and get this and this. And then we came back and it was like, well, do we have this? And so then we went back and got that. And so that's why it's been back and forth probably 3 or 4 times. The first ask was just to develop a bylaw. So I think, no doubt, there will be learning pieces and stuff that happens along the way. But that's why we want to hire an EDO pretty immediately and work with our accommodators as well along the way. And yeah, so I mean, it's been here. There's been other documents submitted as well. It's been here 3 or 4 times. You've seen all of those documents in the past as well. And so that's where the recommendation is coming from, basically.
All right, thank you. Any further questions, comments?
I guess with the managing part of it, so you're looking for, I guess, a job description for the EDO to manage this.
Yeah.
This levy tax. And
We spend that, because I mean, we've talked about it going back into places like Swartz's Park. That's where-
The airport, etc.
Yeah, I understand that, but I guess I just want to make sure our ducks in a row before we do this right and proper. I got no problem enforcing the bylaw for it, but can we remove the date? Because you're saying yourself you have to contact certain people to move forward. You want to look at policies doing forward. You want to look at doing management doing forward. So everything you want to do forward, I got no problem doing it. But will you have it ready in time for this August 1st date to approve and accept it.
Yeah, as we've said about bylaws multiple times around this table, it's a bylaw. We just bring it back to the meeting before, or 3 before, or whatever, and we can say, hey, we need to push the date till October 1st because
Yeah, I
we're,
just,
yeah. Our EDO never
I
got
got no problem
hired
making myself
till,
look stupid. I don't want anybody else to make
well,
myself look stupid
you,
either.
you know, one of the,
I
you
just
know,
want the facts, that's all.
I mean, if we don't get an EDO hired till like July 1st, and we really haven't had an opportunity, you know, we might
Yes.
want to, right? But if everything goes as planned, then that would be, because it was April 15th, we put it off to August 1st thinking, okay, that gives us a fair amount of time to try to, you know, do this, right? But we can certainly shift if people don't feel like we're ready or something.
And again, this is not brand new. We can go right back to when Lambswood started this back in, what, 19? Like, it's, we've
Yeah.
done a lot of work. The thing that changed is the legislation,
Yeah.
whether you had to have a board and terms length, or if we have to do it now. And with the new act, that's dissolved, and now we've got to do it.
Yeah, I understand, I agree with the way we're going with it. I got no issues with it. I just want all the facts put towards, answered for me before I can say yay or nay.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's unknowns to me now, right?
I don't.
It would just be
And,
bylaw.
and listen, the reality is there will be hiccups along the way.
Oh,
100%. You can't put in a tax and that's new and not get hiccups along the way. It's like the annex. When the annex opens, we're probably not going to have all the programming ready, but we're pushing every day to get that open. And I think that you're going to learn a lot as you go. And this is going to be one of those situations where when you're doing something new, and you can certainly try to ward off as much of that as possible, but you're going to learn some stuff along the way, no doubt.
Thank you.
All right, further comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none. We have a mover and a seconder. All those in favor?
Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4 against. Motion carried. All right, thank you. Moving on to Councillor Langdon, you want to put the report from the fire department in there?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On April 8th, 2025, I received the quarterly report from our Fire Chief, Stephen Rousel, and I'm just going to read out the memo that he sent me as well. To date, in 2025, we have, the Derelict Fire Rescue, have responded to 17 calls for service. Our members had the pleasure of attending the Winterfest bonfire and participating in a hockey game fundraiser with the Xavier Junior High hockey team, and raised nearly $1,200 for the school breakfast program. Training remains a top priority for the department. Recently, they completed a vehicle extraction course to sharpen our motor vehicle accident response skills. Additionally, they have continued their weekly drills to ensure our firefighters and department maintain the expertise required to serve the community and the surrounding areas effectively. Preparations are in full swing for the upcoming 75th anniversary of the Fireman's Ball, scheduled for September 20th, 2025. Be sure to follow the Facebook page for more updates and exciting details. And as well, the fire chief provided an update on the new annex fire capacity. So he said right now at the time with fixed chairs and no tables, it's 1,025, and the total number of personnel allowed with non-fixed tables and chairs is 478. This is with the bleachers in the store position. So we appreciate him for doing that work for us, and I thank Fire Chief Rousel and the entire committee and the department for all they do for us. Mr. Mayor?
All right, thank you. That's an FYI for council. Before we call for adjournment, I'm going to do round table. Town clerk, I'm going to answer for you. You're a no. Counselor. Councillor Hancock.
I think everyone's probably going to say this as we did over the weekend. Just congratulations, awesome to see the herd brought back to the area. Just another congratulations, amazing season to watch, and just awesome for the community to come together in that regard on the weekend as well as they did. I think between me and Lori, I think Lori made more hot dogs than me, but I did okay, probably a couple hundred, and we had a great time. So just thank you and congratulations.
Absolutely. Councillor Freak, please.
Again, congratulations to our herder winners, all the volunteers, the executive. It was an amazing winter down at the rink, and it was a good ending. I also want to remind everybody that tomorrow at 1 p.m. we have our firefighters taking on Elwood High. Do I have that right? Elwood Regional High School. Yep. So 1 o'clock tomorrow. It's a fundraiser. The whole school's going down. All funds going back to the breakfast program. And I think that's it. One more. Yeah. Okay, so Thursday at 1? Thursday at 1, we got Xavier hockey team and RCMP. So that's 2 games this week for, I love that they're doing this. Yep. Okay, that's it for me. I think,
Thank you. Councillor Hines, anything to add tonight?
Just as Councillor Hancock and Councillor Freak said, congratulations to the team bringing the herder back to Deer Lake. It's great to see. But other than that, I'm sure Brett will keep us all in line with the sporting activities here in town. So,
can I come back to a line for a second?
Sure.
We had April the 7th was Green Shirt Day. We forgot that, but that was a special time for Brian Snow and bringing awareness to organ donors. So if you haven't checked it out, go have a peek at the Logan Boulay Effect, the Humboldt Broncos, and sign up to be an organ donor. Sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, no, just obviously the herder, but as well the Dirty Minor Hockey, the females U13 and 15 competed in their provincial championship. Some silver and gold medal down there. So congratulations to all of them, as well the Xavier girls basketball team won a medal, and the Elwood boys basketball team. So good luck to all of them. And of course, congratulations to the Red Wings, and as well they dropped off a nice plaque for us. From the certainly appreciate they had a great parade on Saturday. We thank the town for supporting that as well, and the support from the community has been incredible. They can't do what they do without that, and you know the community sponsors and businesses, and it's really and shout out to Scott's Transport as well. They donated the truck for the parade, so certainly appreciate that. As well, I just want to say thanks to all of our incredible staff at the town for what they do, for going above and beyond, and you know the efforts they do. They certainly come out all times and go the extra mile. So can't speak for everyone, speak for myself. I certainly appreciate what everybody does in this community and working for the town of Deer Lake. So thanks, guys. That's it from me, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you, Councillor Lane. Deputy Mayor Jones.
Just to, like everybody else, congratulations to the Deer Lake Red Wings.
Well, I guess I'll end it with Go Wings Go. The reality, you know, there's so much to celebrate in this community, which I think everyone that's ever sat here in the past can attest to. All the community organizations that makes this community shine. That makes everyone very proud to not only sit here but to be a resident. But there was an award ceremony this past week where we recognized 2 local gentlemen for their contributions to the community. One happens to be sitting here, and he sat here for many years. So I just want to say a hats off to Mayor Ball, which I told you it'll never switch from that name, for the King Charles Award, and Pastor White. Everyone knows Pastor White, and they've been a huge contributor to this community, so I just want to say congratulations again for all your efforts, and greatly appreciate it. And with that, I'd like to ask the council to join me for congratulations. With
And
that,
just
sorry, go
just so anyone knows, the former Mayor Ball is sitting in the gallery, so we're not just clapping at the air here either. So shout out to Mayor Ball there and Pastor White for all they do.
Absolutely. And with that, if anybody hasn't figured out that there's a federal election by now, I'm usually the first to advertise it. I'm just going to say the best way I can say it, in the critical time, no matter who you're going to vote for, get out and vote is extremely important. It's a God-given right. And it's also
and just
right
Mr. Mayor,
to
the
our
advance
freedom.
polls are open this weekend as well at the Masonic Lodge in Deer Lake, so and you can vote anytime at the Elections Canada office in Corner Rook as well. And if anyone wants a proxy vote, you can reach out to Elections Canada or the candidate or whoever. So, like you said, very important to vote.
Absolutely. All right, it is now 8:21, and I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Jones. It is now 8:20.